Hello children and welcome to the session today. My dear children, at our homes, when the electric connection is disconnected, when there is a power cut, what do? You just put your hands up in the air. There's no electricity, nothing can be done, right? So today we are going to understand the importance of electricity and what electricity actually means. Chapter number 13, Electricity and Circuits. So here we are going to use electric current to understand what is electric circuit, what are conductors, insulators, and what are electric cells. So when I said that during a power cut, we just put our hands up in the air, that nothing can be done, this is because electricity is an integral part of entertainment, lighting, refrigeration, telecommunication. That means making our house comfortable. And without electricity, nothing can be done. So now if you do this activity that is given in your book, that means finding out where all electricity is used in your house, you will be amazed to see that practically nothing works without electricity nowadays. Isn't it true? In fact, these days, solar cells or solar electricity is becoming very, very popular. We are going to read about it in greater detail inside the chapter. So as we can see that electricity is an important part. Whenever there is a power cut, we like to use the torch. So we all know you switch on the torch and there is electricity. There is light. How does this happen? We are going to get into this also a little later. Let us first understand about an electric bulb. So an electric bulb is a simple source of light that runs on electricity. So there are two terminals, positive and negative, and between these is a filament. This filament glows when electricity is passed through it. It is made up of tungsten. Tungsten is a metal which gets heated when electricity is passed through it and it begins to glow. And this bulb is put in a glass container. This is the basic structure of an electric bulb. Now let us understand the electric cell. So we know that an electric bulb runs on electricity. Now this electricity does not necessarily have to come from a power point in your house. It can even come from an electric cell. So what are electric cells? They are the source of electric current. Now how does electric current flow? Electric current always flows from positive to negative terminal. And current is actually the flow of electrical charges. And these charges, when they flow, they give us energy, which is known as electrical energy or electricity. The flow of electric current can be seen in a simple setup in which we light a torch bulb. Now, how do we do that? Let us watch a video and understand that. You can light up an electric bulb using a cell. Take two copper wires coated with plastic. Remove the plastic coating from both sides so as to expose the wires. Take a cell and fix both the wires to the terminals on the cell. Connect the other ends of the wires to the two terminals of the bulb. The bulb will glow. So children, having understood the video, let us now understand what did we do inside that video. We actually created an electrical circuit. What is an electrical circuit? Electrical circuit is a system or an arrangement in which different electrical things are placed so that the current runs through them, right? So here in this picture are two circuits. As you can see here, this line that carries arrow is the electrical wire. This symbol here is the bulb. These short and long lines represent the power source or the cell in this case. This is a switch. I'm sure you remember that whenever you want electricity in your house, what do? You switch on a device, right? Now, what is the difference between the two? Here, there is a gap in the switch. That means the switch is off. If I put the switch on, the circuit becomes complete and the bulb glows. So, this circuit in which the switch is not closed is the open circuit, where the bulb will not glow. And this is the closed circuit where there is no gap, because of which the bulb is glowing. Now, as I said, that this is the wire. Now, what kind of wire are you going to use? Obviously, in order to complete the circuit, you need a wire that allows electric current to pass through it. What is such a wire called? It is called a conductor. Usually, we use copper wires for all the electrical appliances in our house, for the wiring in our house. So, what will a device that does not allow current to pass through it called? It will be called an insulator. Quickly give me an example of an insulator. Think. Plastic, rubber. These are all insulators. So, we were talking about cells inside the circuit. Now, what are these cells? These cells are the source of electricity. Now, how do these cells function? So, basically, what does a cell comprise of? A cell, as you can see in this picture, comprises of a small metal case. Inside the metal case, there are some chemicals which react with each other to produce electricity. So, there is a positive terminal on the top, a negative terminal at the base. So, when you connect cells together, you actually have to see the positive terminal in the device and the negative terminal in the device. Otherwise, the cell will not work. So, such kind of a cell is known as a dry cell that you use in your remotes, in your torches. There are also cells that run your wristwatches. These cells are called button cells. Now, there are two kinds of cells. There are primary cells, which once finished can never be used again. Then there are secondary cells. These cells can be charged and recharged again and again and again and reused. Button cells are an example of secondary cells. Now, coming to solar cells. As I had explained in the beginning of the chapter, that solar electricity is becoming a very powerful and important source of sustainable electricity. So, these solar cells capture solar energy in them and convert it into an electrical charge, which gives us electricity. Now, having studied about all the different types of charges, let's go back and understand what is the functioning of a torch through a short video. In an electric torch, a switch serves to put the torch on or off. When the switch is pushed in the on position, the cells in the torch are pushed forward to touch the metal strip over which the bulb is placed. The bulb glows because the circuit is complete. When the switch is put on the off position, the contact between the metal strip and the cells is broken and the circuit is incomplete. The bulb does not glow. Other than the torch, the dry cells that are used in a torch in the remote, there are also another kind of series of cells which are known as batteries. There are lead acid batteries used in automobiles. There are also lithium batteries and lithium cells that are being used nowadays. So children, this was about electricity. How electricity is generated, why is it important, what are the different kinds of cells used, what is the open circuit, what is a closed circuit. Now it's time for you to attempt the questions at the back and check your understanding. Thank you.